Isn't this like chopping down weeds back at home? I sure hope this works. Does this sound cringy and annoying? Well, guess the what? You just described Neo-Saban. Yeah. um, hey guys, it's me, Ryeguy, or Riley, and joining me today is, well, I'll let him introduce himself.
SonicAdventureDX. That guy that named himself after a video game. I mean, like, seriously, who does that?
Yeah, and if you couldn't tell by the intro, today we will be talking about, the Neo-Saban era of Power Rangers. Now, I would have done this with Alec, but, I think I remember I did ask him at some point, but he said he wasn't interested, and I feel like this would be better with like someone who has seen all the Neo-Saban seasons, which, he has. Sonic Adventure
God help
DX.
me.
Yeah. Yeah. uh, and I have other friends too, but they're busy with other stuff, so whether it be like school or just other things, yeah. But he was my last option, so
Oh, so you're just going with the next best thing that you could get. Yeah, I see how it is.
yeah.
That guy who hasn't made a video in God knows how long.
Yeah. But hey, you know what? It's whatever. But yeah, let's just get down to the topic. But yeah. Bleh. Okay. So Neo-Saban, Power Rangers hasn't exactly been doing so well ever since the franchise was bought back by Saban.
Yeah.
And I know Power Rangers hasn't had a lot of hasn't always had victories beforehand. I mean, I don't like season 1 of NPR. Turbo to me was just mediocre at best. I know this guy likes Turbo, but that's
Yeah.
that's just my
Yeah.
opinion.
I think everyone's entitled to their opinions.
Yeah.
I mean, like me personally, I know the Turbo movie isn't exactly the most well liked in the fandom, but to me, I just have fun every single time I watch it. I mean, yeah, it's no masterpiece, but I think it's a lot of fun. And ever since I was a kid, I always thought that the Turbo suits and their Megazord designs looked so awesome to me. Like, those are my favorite designs, and pretty much the only things about Car Ranger that I can take seriously.
All right. Well, yeah, that's his opinion and my opinion, but yeah. Um Mystic Force was hit or miss, but
I liked it.
I can I wouldn't mind rewatching it again. It's not painful, but it's got problems, but yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, like, it was kind of annoying how Nick was always the one to give up. Does that sound like a leader to you?
No, that's not like not to mention the whole he's the light thing, which that's a discussion for another day. For now, we'll just get back on topic.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and then we got Operation Overdrive, which, yeah, is a bad season, but it tried.
At least it had some effort put into it. I mean, personally, I don't think Operation Overdrive is as bad as fans make it out to be. I mean, it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it had its moments.
Yeah. And in its defense, it did at least have a story, and at the time they were at least trying to show like the other, since it was the 15th anniversary at the time, they were at least trying to show respect for other seasons, like,
It was a better anniversary than Super Megaforce, that's for
yeah.
sure.
I mean, yeah, Once a Ranger was not a good team up. No, hell no, but still better than, well,
I
yeah.
liked it.
Yeah. But yeah, but Neo Saban, it's every year they've turned out crap after crap after crap. The only okay, let's just go over like our brief thoughts on like each of the seasons. So like
Starting
Samurai,
off with watered down Shinkenger.
yeah, Samurai was awful because, well,
Oh
yeah,
gosh.
it was a watered down Shinkenger, and not to sound like a Sentai purist, but it's and
Yeah.
it's it's not a matter of, oh my god, this is too kidding, but like the thing is, Shinkenger is heavily centered around Japanese culture, and they try to kitty it down.
Yeah,
Really.
I mean, yeah, I love the samurai theme of the series, and I love Shinkenger, and like trying to sound like a purist is not our intention in the slightest. It's just
Oh.
it really was just a watered down copy and paste of Shinkenger. I mean, yeah, like I can understand some of the cultural changes that they did, making it like, for example, how Kevin was an Olympic swimmer rather than a kabuki dancer, because most Americans aren't going to know what a kabuki dancer is.
I I don't I don't think I've ever met anyone who was familiar with kabuki in high school aside from maybe people I know who like anime, so yeah.
Yeah, pretty much same here.
Yeah, but I understand some of the changes like with that, but the rest is so like kiddied down and it didn't translate well. So
Ooh,
yeah.
ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
like why does he say that all the time?
I don't know, but that's again a problem again delay. Then we got Megaforce, which was despite it being the 20th anniversary, had nothing to do with it aside from the Rangers using past Ranger powers and a few cameos here and there.
Like, Megaforce and Super Megaforce had so much potential and it didn't go anywhere. At,
Yeah,
at least for like season one. But even though like Super Megaforce, that was a train wreck and that wasn't even adapted from Tokuger.
yeah, and
But like okay, so I remember back at the 2012 Morphicon, saw the trailer for Megaforce, and granted, they showed the Sentai Legend War with like the pre-Jew Ranger and Die Ranger teams on there. But at that time, if you guys seen the video, like the countless videos of the Megaforce trailer at Morphicon, we pretty much went ape shit when that happened. I think I was like the first one to stand up and like cheer, pretty much because we were excited that we were going to get a Power Rangers version of the Legend War, and then Megaforce and Super Megaforce just turned out to be, well, pretty much a letdown.
yeah. And not to mention, there was no story, no character development. The characters weren't even that interesting. I've only like maybe like two, but that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, and like with Gosei, I want to like him because he seems like he comes off, at least to me, like a mentor who has the Rangers' best interest at heart and would try to guide them any way that he can, but they don't do anything about that. They
Yeah.
also mentioned that he was mentored by Zordon, but they only mentioned that once, and it never gets expanded upon. That would have
Yeah.
been interesting.
Yeah. It's it's a waste opportunity, but no, we got to have an episode where Tetsu gets lost in the city.
Yeah, like oh hey, let's have this filler episode. And then like the new powers.
Oh,
Okay, like
we'll get into that when we discuss the editing. So
right,
yeah.
right.
Dino Charge was a slight improvement. Again, slight, but it's like
Yeah.
it still has its problems, but it's the more watchable of the Neo-Saban era. So
Yeah, like Dino Charge honestly in my opinion is the only Neo-Saban season so far that's worth watching. I
yeah,
mean, yeah, the finale to Dino Supercharge could have been a bit better, but for the most part, I found it enjoyable, and this is where I felt like Power Rangers was improving again. I mean, we got Judlin or Chiplin, potato potato, and there was less dialogue during the fights, but we'll get to that later. And the characters felt a bit more human and had some character development, so I thought, all right, this is a step in the right direction. We're stopping the dialogue. Well, we're having less dialogue during fight scenes, so on and so forth.
yeah.
But then comes Ninja Steel, and then they take like a step
Oh
backwards.
yeah, yeah. Ninja Steel. Okay, it's nowhere near as bad as Samurai or Megaforce were, but it's still bad. Like we're
Yeah,
like we we once again we the story. I can't speak. I'm sorry. Yeah.
it's all right. But I don't know, like we went back to the constant dialogue, let's see, pointing out the obvious, saying a bunch of idiotic puns, bad dialogue,
and
so on and so
and
forth, and
dumb
yeah,
comedy.
yeah, Victor and Monty. Every
Yeah,
single time they come up, I always roll my eyes and I go, "Oh, great, it's these two ass clowns again."
yeah, yeah. And the story was just we waste so much time on nothing that we don't develop any of these story elements. Like
Yeah,
it's a
like
mess.
yeah, and you know what else? What is the point of Redbot? I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't dislike the character, but I mean, like, I understand that with the Rangers Zords, well, at least for like the core five, they were all supposed to represent something that was close to them, like White Ranger with, well, Haley with her Kodiak Zord being her dog Cody, or Calvin's dump truck Zord being like his truck. So the Robo Red Zord would be like Redbot, but he's pretty much just a useless buddy roid. And when they showed a preview clip for Ninja Steel, when they showed Brody on Galvin X's ship and his only friends were Redbot and Mick, I honestly thought, oh, I get it. Redbot is going to be the American Shinobi Maru, and through some sort of Ninja Steel magic or whatever they're going to use this season, he will grow giant and become Brody Zord. I can see that.
Yeah,
But no, they're like two separate things.
he's fluff. That's all he is, just fluff. He does nothing. He contributes nothing. Why is he here?
Not entirely. I mean, he helps make Ninja Stars, but that's pretty much about it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Ninja Steel. So, what exactly are the problems with these seasons? Well, let's start off with number one. That being the dialogue. Holy crap, is the dialogue awful?
It honestly reminds me of 4Kids dubs, to where they would do this in their dubs a lot. They would take a scene and add in extra dialogue that wasn't in the original Japanese script. Like an example would be, all right, so in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, in the original Japanese version, when Merrick was mind controlling Janochi, aka Joey Wheeler, in the dub, and let's see, Yugi's friend and Anzu, or Taya, if you're more familiar with the dub again, and in the Japanese version, they were holding a crate above her, and they were going to crush her if they pulled any moves to try to stop the duel. But of course, for the 4Kids dub, it's a cage which they could easily just pick up and rescue her. But in order to make sure that the crate doesn't fall on her, they get Kaiba's copter, and it's remote controlled, and they don't say anything about it. They just show the audience that's remote controlled to stop the crate from falling on her. But in the 4Kids dub, they're like, it's Kaiba's copter, but who's piloting it? No one. It's remote controlled.
Oh god. Yeah, but that's his example. But like, yeah, this feels like the dialogue sounds like it's from a Nick Jr. show. Like all of this feels like it should be from a Nick Jr. show. Like it's
Yeah, like it's unnecessary. They don't need to point out the obvious and say a bunch of stupid puns while they're fighting. Just focus on the fight.
yeah.
I mean, they didn't do that in the seasons from Mighty Morphin to RPM, so I don't understand why they do that in the Neo-Saban era.
Yeah, it's talking down to the kids. Like kids are smarter than this. They're not stupid. Well, okay, they're not
Some kids
stupid. They're different. So, yeah.
Yeah, like 2 months before this podcast, I was spending time with my 7-year-old nephew, and he told me that he wanted to watch Power Rangers with me. So I was happy to hear him say that. So I'm like, all right, let's look through the DVDs I have, because I have the Shout Factory Power Ranger DVDs and Lionsgate and so on and so forth. And I gave him brief descriptions of like the theme of each series, and he chose Lightspeed Rescue. And I'm like, oh, that's a good one. That's one of my favorites. And he loves it. And they don't have dialogue. during the fight scenes because the Rangers focus on the fight scenes, and he loves it. In
Yeah.
fact, he's always excited when he can watch more Lightspeed Rescue with me.
Wow, that really says something. That, you know, like compared to these seasons where it's all just like, you know, just like chopping down weeds back at home. Aren't
sure
these
gives
new
me an extra
powers
kick.
amazing?
Yeah.
Which then leads into another problem: the acting. Most of the characters are either dry or bland in their delivery.
The thing is that they can act a lot better, because I remember watching the audition tapes for Samurai, and they could act a lot better than what they did in their season. But apparently they were told by Jonathan Shakur to like tone it down a bit so like kids can understand, which is kind of ironic considering, you know, he wrote for a bunch of the seasons for the early Saban era.
Oh, sorry, my phone went off.
It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the. And boxes keep falling over. I'm sorry, but this podcast is going so well, guys. Yeah.
And this is only our second try.
Yeah. Yeah, first try didn't go so well, but I don't want to get into too much detail about that because this is about Neo-Saban. Yeah. I think a good example with the acting is Troy, who's easily, I think, the worst actor in any, the worst Ranger with the
Worst acted in the Neo-Saban era?
Worst acted in the Neo-Saban, yeah. Well, it's either him or the child actors that
Kevin?
Get a lot.
Yeah. Well, the child actors, they're probably like New Zealand natives, so they're trying to have them speak more of an American accent.
Yeah.
But yeah, usually, even so, children aren't that great actors.
Yeah, but though at least you could probably excuse them because they're kids and they probably don't know how to, you know, switch between an American or a New Zealand accent, so
yeah, you know, they get a pass, I guess.
Yeah. But with Troy, he's so bland in his delivery. Like, he has precisely one reaction to everything, the same dull expression every time.
And people joke that he's more of a robot than Robo Knight.
Yeah, and like this is like he puts little. He doesn't really put that much effort into his performance. He's like, I'm tired. I think I will take a nap. Take a look. Do you see any tears? I'm sad.
A Ranger never lets go of his weapons.
A Ranger never lets go of his weapon. It's... God, no. It's like... God. Yeah. That's... And nothing against Andrew Gray. I'm sure he's...
Oh, no, not
he is a nice guy. I've seen him in interviews. He is... Again, he is capable of acting. I think... I don't know if it's the direction or the script. I don't know. But yeah.
I don't know, man. Your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah, but but the acting, most of the actors, like, it's... I don't know what else to say. I'm sorry.
I don't know. The thing is that, yeah, there's been other bad actors in Power Rangers, Vipra, and
yeah.
But Time Force had pretty good acting for Power Rangers. RPM's acting was pretty good. So, but Neo-Saban, hey guys, let's talk down to the kids because American children are idiotic and ignorant, and they won't understand unless if we point out the obvious to them.
And none of it feels like it makes the characters come off as less human and more cartoonish. And yeah, no, that's not a slap against cartoons. Trust me, there's cartoons I much rather be watching compared to these seasons. But
Friendship is Magic doesn't feel like it's talking down to the audience. I mean, granted, it is a kid show, but the acting in Friendship is Magic is a lot better than the majority of the Neo-Saban seasons.
Yeah, it's like Pinkie Pie's a cartoon, and yet even she's she's more of a person than most of these guys are.
She's actually one of my absolute favorite characters, and I think she's hilarious.
the the bouncing, physics breaking, and fourth wall and physics breaking pony is more of a person than these guys. That's sad.
The Lord of Chaos Discord is more of a character than most of the Neo-Saban characters.
Yeah, but yeah, that is embarrassing beyond belief.
Yeah, I remember back in 2011 when I saw some people on YouTube comment saying that Friendship is Magic it has better writing than Samurai.
Yeah, that's saying a lot, considering that's a toy commercial aimed at little girls. That's not how it should work.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, personally, I don't, like, see these shows as just toy commercials. I mean, it's kind of annoying to me when people say that, because it's like...
know, but I'm not being serious, but yeah.
Yeah, I know that you're joking, but it's like...
Oh, hey, guys, the Power Rangers is just a toy commercial. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go watch Transformers and Marvel movies.
Yeah. Even though...
Like, do you not see the irony in that?
Yeah. But yeah, that's the acting. What else can we go over? Oh yeah, most of the characters. Now most of the characters, with all their dialogue and with all their dialogue and bad acting, it's just they're not interesting. They're bland, boring, one note, and they don't move past their one-note personality traits.
Yeah, I mean, like Robo Knight is cool and all. I pretty much joke that he's the environmentalist ranger, but then again, that's pretty much the truth.
I mean,
but
yeah.
He doesn't have much of a character other than, and stand down, mutants. You will only get one warning.
I mean, there are some characters I like Mike is the only character in Samurai I actually liked because. Yeah, he's a watered down jockey, but I feel like he's the only one who's actually trying to, create that same level of charm that Jockey had. You know?
Yeah.
The Jake from Megaforce, he was actually pretty likable. Even though he was kind of his whole thing with him trying to hit on Gio was kind of annoying, but.
Yeah, just pretty much being the teenage stalker, and then he eventually gets the girl in the end.
But, okay, Jake, you win. I'll start dating you now.
Yeah.
Even though it should be obvious that I'm a lesbian with Emma.
Yeah. But yeah, Jake just has a really, really fun and enjoyable personality. Most of the Dino Charge characters I actually like.
Yeah.
They're not the absolute best, but I do like a majority of them and their characterization, so yeah.
Yeah, they started feeling more a bit like human beings.
Yeah,
Lisa loves you too, as a person, as a human being.
Oh, hi, Mark.
I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Yeah. And I think the only two characters I like in Ninja Steel are Preston and Mick.
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, like Levi's pretty cool, I guess, and I think Calvin's pretty likable. Yeah. But Brody just says that pretty much everything is epic and awesome, and that just really downplays it every single time he says it.
Yeah, and and the girls just they're bland. Yeah.
Pretty much.
They're nothing else to say about them. They're bland. They're really, really, really bland.
Yeah. And then we've got the ass clown duo, Victor and Monty. One of them's an egotistical jackass, and the other one's a scrawny pussy.
Yeah, we've seen these characters before. Not just in Power Rangers, but other TV shows before.
Yeah, to be honest, I feel sorry for Victor and Monty's actors because it didn't take long for both of them to go down in Power Rangers history to be two of the most hated characters in the entire franchise. So if they ever, by any chance, show up at Morphicon, I feel like some fans are going to take it a bit too far and
Yeah.
give them a hard time
I
for it.
do not.
Guys, that's not cool.
Yeah.
Like, just because you dislike a character doesn't mean that you should treat the actor badly.
No.
I mean, learn to separate the character from the actor.
Yeah, I mean, well, unless you're Samuel Benta, but yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a different topic
Yeah.
of conversation, but
Yeah. But yeah, I don't even like what Sonic Adventure DX said here. It's like I get the feeling that even their actors are getting annoyed with this dumb slapstick they're doing. Like
wouldn't surprise me.
yeah. Like they're trying to recreate Bulk and Skull with them, but the thing is, Bulk and Skull worked because yeah, they were comic relief bullies, but their characters evolved into better people.
Yeah, like yeah, they were bullies at first, but eventually down the line they became better human beings. And in Countdown to Destruction, they even had a shining moment with the whole "I am Spartacus" reference by saying, "I am the Blue Ranger, I am the Black Ranger," and then Bulk and Skull say to like the crowd of civilians, "Come on, let's get in there."
Yeah, we still had the slapstick, but it was still,
they were still
funny,
but
yeah.
They still had some character development.
Yeah, and say what you will about Cassidy and Devin. I mean, yeah, Cassidy was kind of a bitch at first, but when she started going out with Ethan, she became a much better person. She became much more compassionate. Like, and you can see that at like the finale when she catches the Rangers on tape, and despite this crowning achievement, this moment that could change not only her life but their lives as well, she decides not to go through with it.
Yeah, like she grows and becomes a better person through it. She had the chance to make millions and become famous, but she's like, no, I'm not going to ruin their lives like that.
And yeah, she even refers to them as her friends. I mean, yeah, she breaks it off with Ethan, but their relationship ended on a good note at the very least. So
yeah,
I think that moment, that when they were going out, I think that really start to show how much of a better person she's becoming.
Yeah, like she started to mature by that point.
Yeah, and then you got these two. They don't change at all. Their comedy is annoying. Their acting is just awful, and
they've been reduced to fart jokes.
Oh god, yeah, that's another thing with Neo-Saban. The fucking humor is so childish. And
I mean, yeah, there's some funny moments in there. Like two examples in Super Megaforce when they first turn all red and they beat that Vilgax looking monster. I thought it was funny how he said, "At least it took 5 teams to beat me."
Yeah,
or how in Ninja Steel when Cosmo is introducing the monster of the week and he almost gets hit by its powers and he goes, "That could have been me." Like, I thought those are pretty funny, yeah. But for the most part, the comedy is pretty cringy.
Yeah, it's my examples are, when Coda saves Prince Philip in Dino Charge from a monster attack, and he's like, why did you save me? I've been nothing but rude. I've been really rude to you. Everyone has good inside, even big mean prince like you. That's just, or when Ivan is like gathering civilians to form his own team.
Oh yeah.
When that was just so funny. He finds a magician, a cross guard, an old lady, and I forget what else.
I think a construction worker was one of them.
Construction worker, yeah.
Actually, what was another funny moment from Dino Charge? When the Rangers are put under the spell of they want to relax and vacation, when Fury almost hits Riley, and then at first he's surprised, but then he's just like, Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, most of the humor is just really cringeworthy and just it's it's either you have the comic relief characters like Spike and or Victor and Monty mugging the camera every chance they get. Like they do
Yeah.
it more than Dax back in Overdrive. Fucking Dax.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Overdrive is looking a lot better in recent years compared to most newer seasons.
Yeah, it's either that or really dumb pie to the face humor and just really or really other types of really bad bad like Three Stooges slapstick.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Oh god. Is there anything else?
Let's see, the 2 years per season BS.
Yes, the 2 seasons per year BS. That's another thing. I think moving to Nickelodeon really hurts these seasons,
Yeah.
especially since, Nickelodeon has a policy of not having, you can't have you can't have a season being like 20. You can only have a season being like 22, 21 episodes per.
Yeah, that doesn't work for Power Rangers. I mean, and because of this, we've even had to skip Sentai just to catch up a bit. I mean, I can assure you that if we didn't have this 2 years per season in BS, we would have gotten an adaptation of Go Busters. Even if Go Busters didn't have Power Ranger terms like it's Morphin Time and Megazords, it still could have worked for an adaptation.
Yeah,
Not really sure about Tokuger though, but possibly.
Yeah, and the breaks between not only the 2 seasons, but anytime it's like midway between those seasons, like
Yeah.
they'll start in January and they'll just stop in like springtime or whatever, and then we'll get this very very long hiatus until September.
Yeah, because that just makes me tilt my head, because why not show Power Rangers during the summer when kids are on summer vacation and more likely to watch TV?
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, because I think this is one of the reasons Power Rangers is losing viewership at the moment. 'Cause,
Aside from the jokes and what we mentioned before,
Yeah.
but yeah, this definitely doesn't help.
yeah, this doesn't help, and unless these like lead into the next unless these events from the previous season lead into the next, what's the point? Or no, sorry, that aside from we can't have 21 episodes. We can only have 21 episodes per season.
Yeah, honestly, in early 2011, when Saban Brands announced that Nickelodeon will be airing Power Rangers now, at first I thought to myself, okay, that's not my first choice. That's kind of an odd place to put it, but hey, Power Rangers is back, so I'm happy. But that should have been our first clue that something was wrong.
Yeah, and it's not how Nickelodeon has a history of treating their shows, even their most liked ones, like crap. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's
like that doesn't work for Power Rangers. I'm at the point to where I'd be fine with a 32 episode season like what they did with like the last half of the Disney era.
At least it felt longer. I mean, yeah, you could say like, well, if you put the episodes of this season and this season together, they'll just become like 30 something episodes. But that's not enough. That's even then it still feels like 2 seasons. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Like all these problems that we've been mentioning, like the dialogue and 2 years per season, it's not just us, but I've seen many fans make videos to where they're either talking or ranting about it. And even Bruno from MMPR Toys is sick of this.
Yeah.
He's made a couple videos to where he remembers when Power Rangers had more depth to it. And I'm not saying that, Power Rangers needs to be dark and edgy and should be taken 100% serious.
No.
Like, it can still have its goofy moments and lighthearted moments, but there were still times to where it knew when to take itself seriously.
Yeah.
Like in Time Force, a good example is when Wes goes back to the hospital after a battle, and he goes into his dad's hospital room, and his dad's body isn't on the bed, and you can see the sadness in his eyes as he just collapses over the bed. But then, he turns around and his dad's in a wheelchair and he's fine. But still, that's a pretty powerful moment for Power Rangers.
The thing is, Power Rangers can do all the dumb, cheesy stuff it wants, but it knows when to take itself seriously. But with Neo-Saban, you don't get any of that. Nothing.
They pretty much just talk down to the kids for the most part.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
Let's see. The American exclusive Mega modes for the Megazord cockpits.
Yeah. Look, I have nothing against them wanting to make these modes, but why are they Megazord exclusives?
Yeah, I mean, they all look cool, but if you're gonna spend the budget on American exclusive power-ups, and you only use them just so that they can pilot the Megazord, then they just come off as useless. I mean, this is you have an opportunity and potential to introduce American exclusive team power-ups, and you don't do anything with it. And whenever they exit the Megazord, the armor disappears. Although, to Samurai's credit, and interestingly enough, one of the few original ideas that they did is in the final battle when Jaden used the Shogun mode armor against the Shogun, the Shogun mode armor against Master Xandred.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just oh, hey guys, Megazord modes.
Yeah, it's the sad thing is I like the concept behind Shogun mode. And I like how it's a battleizer that can be shared with all the members of the team. That was really cool.
It was also kind of with the black box, how they could share it with each member, but they just save it for the Megazord only.
Yeah, that's really annoying. Yeah, and if you're gonna make these modes, do something with them. Don't just have them don't just make them cockpit exclusives. Have them do something on the ground.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that would be cool to see them in action. I mean, they don't have to have them out all the time, but every once in a while, just maybe have them out and do a fight scene with them.
Yeah, but no, they're Megazord exclusives because we can't film original footage. Oh, and that leads into another problem. The editing in these seasons. There are so many times you can either see stuff in the Sentai footage that's not supposed to be there, or they don't bother to edit out. And there are a lot of times where you can tell where the difference between between American footage and the Japanese footage.
Yeah, a good example is in the Samurai Halloween special when they adapted the Shinkenger Return special, and then they have the Rangers on stage, and then they have Mia singing. No, yeah, that's her name, Mia. They have Mia singing, but in the footage that you see, you clearly see her Japanese counterpart, Shirai Shimako. You're not bullshitting anybody.
And another thing, too, is that a lot of the times the backgrounds, it makes the backgrounds look so inconsistent. It's not how they always use, you can tell the different kinds of cameras they use, and the costumes that they, I think a good example with this is Dino Charge, where you can see, especially on, the Kyoryu Gold outfit, what the fuck happened to it?
It's pretty much Kyoryu Butterscotch.
Yeah, did you leave it out in the sun too long? What the fuck?
It's kind of a minor nitpick, but
it's jarring. I'm sorry, it's maybe I shouldn't be focusing on tiny little things like this, but it's so distracting. It doesn't ruin it doesn't ruin the whole season. That goes to like the other stuff we mentioned, but it's
Yeah. I
yeah.
mean, yeah, it's not as bad as like MMPR season 1 with the cloth dragon shield rather than the foam one, but that was, I guess, early 90s, but
Yeah.
that's a different topic of conversation.
Yeah, it's like not some of the other costumes in Dino Charge also feel like they've been left out in the sun too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, again going back, the backgrounds are so inconsistent. Like the rock quarries, the city plazas, or the food courts or whatever. You can tell
Yeah.
you yes, like you could tell what was different, the difference between like Sentai and like Japanese and American footage before. I think a good example of this is in Lost Galaxy when they entered during the first three parts of the Lost Galaxy arc. But over time they got better.
Yeah. Like there were times in Jungle Fury to where they seemed to match the Sentai footage pretty good.
Yeah.
But, well, pretty well is what I should have said.
Yeah. Admittedly, yeah, we have a better camera. I mean, like cuz in the Disney era when we started using like Bokenger to through Goanger, like what it would always be like cropped. They would whenever they would show footage from Bokenger always be like obviously cropped or just, they would like shrink the screen down a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
So it looks a little more flat. Like, yeah, admittedly that's one step up they have from Disney. One.
Yeah, but I suppose the next thing would probably be the new powers in Super Mega Force.
Well, yeah,
Oh man. Like
yeah,
like
that's also another thing. The editing also feels really really lazy too, especially with these like Megaforce is the shining example of the most laziest editing ever.
pretty much I have never seen a more lazy, disrespectful anniversary for anything in my entire life. And I mean, yeah, we're pretty much saying things that we're not saying anything new that anybody else has said, but it's just like with the new powers, I feel it's both a pro and a con at the same time. On one hand, it's cool to see American exclusive. I know, sorry, slip of the tongue. Japanese exclusive teams like Die Ranger, Five Man, Changeman, Flashman, and Maskman on American, or in your case, Canadian television. And but at the same time, it just comes off as lazy because they had the Gokaiger footage, and the only explanation is that their power is never before seen on this planet.
Yeah,
And that was an opportunity for them to, one, be cost effective, and two, expand the universe of Power Rangers. I mean, because we know that Earth isn't the only planet. There's Aquitar, Triforia, Miranoi, etc. So, and if you look at the Flashman suits, which is one of the suits that they use, those can easily pass off for Alien Ranger suits.
yeah,
Then again, Flashman, their powers are alien in origin anyway, but still, it works like that.
yeah.
But they're just like, nope, new powers, and the Rangers don't even question it, and they use that more often than actual American teams. Like we didn't get
Yeah,
a full.
And
We didn't get like
a
a full Time Force change, Operation Overdrive change, but no. Hey guys, let's go Change Man, which we can't decide whether it's Dragon Power or Blitz Power.
yeah, that's another thing. They're inconsistent with the names a lot of the times. Like as he mentioned with the dragon with Changeman, the Dragon Power, or what else was it
Hey
called?
dipshit,
Yeah,
Blitz. But
Blitz.
you know what? Hey dipshits, guess what? Let's see. Only red's a dragon. Let's see. Yeah, blue's a Pegasus, white is a mermaid, and pink is a phoenix.
Yeah. And yeah, there's also a lot of times where they actually do film original footage, but for the most part they always stick with Sentai footage.
Yeah, like a good example is when they adapt that episode of Gokaiger, when they use the last 5 grand powers, Sun Vulcan, Masked Man, and Changeman, etc. Like the only one that they change is Vol Eagle to Mighty Morphin Red, but they still go pre-Jew Ranger teams. Like, okay, well, you went Die Ranger before, so if you're going to film new footage and say something like, she's got new powers, let's mix it up with new legendary powers, why not change it to Ranger? Or better yet, why not have them be, even if it was something like 5 different random Rangers from Power Rangers, that would have been more acceptable than this. Or they could have done something like Red turns into Mighty Morphin Red, Blue turns into Alien Ranger Blue, Yellow turns into Zeo Ranger 2, Green goes Green Turbo, and Pink goes Pink in Space for, like, the Zordon era. Like, that's still something.
Yeah, but though admittedly it is kind of weird seeing the pre-Zoo Ranger suits at that same fucking rock quarry.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the editing. Okay, what else can we go over?
The Mighty Morphin overmilking.
Yes, the Mighty Morphin overmilking. These seasons are so concerned about remaking MMPR
Stroking the
so
nostalgia
much.
boner.
Yeah, giving everyone a nostalgia boner. It feels like they're trying to win back the people who hated the Disney era and were like pro Saban or just yeah.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I do love Mighty Morphin, and I understand that it was the first American series.
Yeah.
Well, the first series to be adapted into Power Rangers.
Yeah, it's like,
and that it was really popular back. Excuse me, probably should have had that out. And that it was really popular during the early '90s, but eventually they let each season, even Disney let each season have their own identity. Even Zeo, which was a continuation of Mighty Morphin, felt like it had its own identity.
Yeah.
And in Dino Thunder, when, as a kid, I was surprised to see Tommy come back. And when they did references to Mighty Morphin, it actually felt special rather than, oh, hey, guys, remember Mighty Morphin? Yeah, we're just going to pretend that no other season exists except for Mighty Morphin because that's what the general public knows, and it's clearly the best season. Yeah, forget about Lost Galaxy and Time Force and Dino Thunder and so on and so forth. Mighty Morphin's where it's at.
Yeah, and look, I don't like season 1 of MPR. Season 2 and 3, that's for me. Those are the better ones. Yeah. But yeah, it's like we have to recreate the magic and charm it had. We got to go back to the stupid dialogue and the villains with ludicrous plans because first season.
Pretty much. I mean, yeah, I think I'll take most of the other Power Ranger seasons over Mighty Morphin, but I still find it enjoyable. But it's even gotten to the point to where I'm getting kind of tired of seeing Jew Ranger, and when Bandai announces like Legacy Mighty Morphin items, I just either go ugh, or I'm just like, oh yeah, that's nice. Okay, when are we going on to Legacy? Insert another season here. So when I see things like the Legacy Zeonizer and the Legacy Golden Power Set, I'm like, oh thank you God.
Yeah, but yeah, that's. And don't get me wrong, I like the Legacy stuff. I like the Dragon Dagger.
It's awesome. It's just, with how much they're over milking Mighty Morphin, you're just like, oh, get on with it already.
Yeah, but thankfully we are getting Zeo stuff, which I'm happy for. So.
Yeah, and here's hoping, well, me personally, and I'm sure other people will, a Legacy Turbo Morpher.
Yeah, sorry, my dad just came home.
It's okay.
All right, but yeah, the MMPR milking. Please stop. Yeah. Anything else?
Yeah, just let them have their own identity.
Yeah. All right. So one final thing I think we could cover is the music. I'm mainly just talking about the background stuff, ignoring that like the theme songs are just Go Power Rangers. Most of the music is, well, absolute shit. The background music and in general is absolute shit.
It's pretty forgettable too.
Yeah, it's like you can't. The thing is, like, with the theme songs, well, yeah, admittedly they're Go Power Rangers, but at least you could tell, they're different versions of Go-Go Power Rangers. You can tell them
Yeah,
apart
well,
slightly.
yeah. I mean, I like the Dino Charge version of Go-Go Power
Yeah,
Rangers,
but
but other than that, and I can understand the Go-Go Power Rangers for Mega Force because that was supposed to be the 20th
yeah,
anniversary.
but
But for like Samurai and Ninja Steel, it's like, all right, guys, come on, let's come up with
yeah,
an original theme song.
yeah, but the background music is just so badly composed, and on top of that, it overplays a lot of the dialogue. Like 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 it overpowers the dialogue in a lot of the time. And not only that, but I actually there's this reviewer I follow named Den Shinta. He in his Dino Charge review, he says that the music actually causes him physical pain because they won't stop they won't they won't because the music is overpowers a lot of the stuff. And that's because he has a ugh. I'm sorry, I can't speak.
All right.
All right.
It's okay. Take your
Yeah.
time.
But yeah, the music causes him physical pain. But and yeah, he has a hearing condition. He has a hearing condition known as like hyperacusis, and you heard of it, right?
I have not up until now.
Oh, well, well, it's I can't remember too many details. I'll have to go back and rewatch the review, but yeah, it causes people like him physical pain that like it gets to the point where he can't watch
Oh,
a
it's that.
single
Now I know.
Neo-Saban season without the captions on and the audio muted. Yeah.
Wow.
I
Well,
mean,
I feel kind of sorry for the guy, but
and it's not just him. There's people who do share his condition, but who have the same problem and he's not the only person to have that reaction to Noam Keneal's compositions. So yeah,
yeah, I mean, like I think Noam Camille makes some good music. I mean, I really like the Code Lyoko theme,
I mean,
but at the same time, all right, guys, let's add a little variety in here. But then again, kind of goes back to the Mighty Morphin over milking as an example of they are just not really letting the seasons have their own identity.
yeah, but yeah, I heard his music in Miraculous Ladybug and and I forget what other show it was, but some other show. His music is actually toned down and it rarely overpowers anything, which is good. So yeah, like why? Like I know he's not the sound editor here, but why? But why do we need it overpowering a lot of the dialogue? I don't get it.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, but yeah, I think we said all of our problems with Neo-Saban now. Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, it's gotten to the point to where I don't really have high hopes for the 25th anniversary, and we just want to see Power Rangers restored to its former glory. I mean, it doesn't need to be 100% serious. We're not saying that. We just we just want it to be good again, like
Yeah.
what most of the fans are saying.
Yeah,
and
I
you know,
don't.
if Q Ranger does get adapted, can you imagine all 12 Rangers at once speaking out dialogue while they're
Yeah,
fighting?
God. But yeah, I don't. Look, I don't expect Power Rangers to be super dark and gritty, but I want to enjoy something. Like I don't expect like a super deep dark story. I just want to have fun with something. I don't have fun watching these seasons. I'm just either bored or annoyed with them.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, I think Dino Charge is a good season, but other than that, for the most part, they've been kind of a chore to watch.
Yeah, it's like
And just make them fun for everybody.
yeah,
Eddie, like like a good example, Ed and Eddie, like that's not deep. It's a fun comedic show that I can sit back and watch and have a good time with it.
yeah.
So
Yeah, like it's gotten to the point where I had to play catch up a couple of times or catch up. Sorry, I said
Yeah,
whatever.
I know what you meant.
Yeah, I
And you
have.
know what? Kids, like, they watch the Marvel movies and they don't talk down to the kids in those movies. They don't have constant dialogue during fight scenes. So I don't understand why they can't do that for Power Rangers.
Yeah, yeah, that just shows that Disney was so better off with with this was okay. No, I know they hated Power Rangers, but they at least knew how to make it evolve. Saban's not doing that at all. Just and to be frank, I don't see this franchise lasting any longer, given how ratings are plummeting at because of this. Just
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
I and
It was um
I don't want to sound like a downer, but I just don't see this. I can't see this franchise lasting any longer. I can't.
yeah, I know. I mean, who knows though? I mean, many fans have been pointing out these problems and talking about it in videos. Even Bruno. Who knows? Maybe I'm sure that the people at Saban Brands are aware. Maybe I know. I also know that politics plays is a part in Power Rangers, but who knows? Maybe if Q Rangers the next season to be adapted because Zyuohger's looking unlikely, but who knows? We'll have to wait and see. I mean, with having 12 Rangers and 9 Rangers at the start, that might be interesting to viewers and might bring in kids and might think that, that's a cool concept to see, or possibly Lupin Ranger versus Pato Ranger. But I don't know. Just I I don't know. I'm kind of speechless right now, and I probably sound like an idiot.
Yeah, no, trust me, you're not the only one here. But yeah, I think we said what we pretty much need to say. Overall, this franchise has just been going down the shithole lately. Just
Pretty much. Kind of ironic that Disney, for the most part, didn't care about it. Although I'm sure that there were producers and writers that did care about the show. That's not to say every single person at Disney didn't care about the show,
Yeah.
but I find it kind of ironic that a company that didn't really care for it in the first place has produced those seasons that are miles better than the vast majority of the Neo-Saban seasons.
that's yeah, like yes, say what you will about Overdrive, but I could at least sense the effort that was put into it. I can't sense any effort here aside from Dino Charge, but yeah, that's
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, and they didn't feel as superficial. I mean, you've got like nothing against the cast members, but the cast members just pretty much look like supermodels now.
Yeah,
In fact, you know what? Andrew Gray is a model, so they're just like, hey guys,
Hey guys, let's put in some eye candy for the parents back home.
God, it's like with Richie from MPR season 2.
yeah.
Just his only purpose is just to be eye candy. Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much all we have to say about Neo-Saban. Yeah, I think we're done here.
Well, there almost. There's one thing that I forgot to mention. It's kind of going back to an old topic, but when I met Andrew Gray at Power Morphicon, and I asked him how he felt about the new powers, and even he thought that was strange.
Yeah, that's
like,
another thing.
hey,
Even the cast members are even the cast members are having a hard time with the with these
Neo-Saban
seasons.
season?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, when I met him, I didn't tell him how I felt about Super Mega Force because one of my rules is I don't care if they're from one of my least favorite seasons, always be respectable because it's always a pleasure to meet a Power Ranger actor. But that aside, I did ask him how he felt about that, and he's like, I thought it was weird. Like, we're turning into Rangers that were never adapted over here in the first place. They did that because they thought that the fans would like that. Yeah,
Well, I
that kinda
would have liked
backfired.
it if you
Yeah, me
explained
too.
it.
Yeah, they did something with it.
But no, they don't. It's they not only feel out of place, but they're given to them like free fucking candy on Halloween.
Pretty much. And then Gosei's like, "Oh, here, guys, just you didn't really do anything to earn this." Actually, you know what? That's another thing. Gosei, and I should have mentioned this earlier, but I might as well mention it now. I understand that he couldn't give them the super mega mode powers because, you know, they were using Goseiger footage and then Gokaiger footage, but when the Armada shows up, he's just like, "Oh, hey guys, here, take these legendary morphers and use the Ranger keys on the wall. God. Here, I had them the whole time, just use them." It's like, "Oh, you had these incredible powers this entire time, and you didn't think to give them to the Rangers when the Warstar aliens showed up."
This has got to,
and the Rangers don't even question it. Yeah, then again, they didn't question the new powers, so why should I be surprised?
Yeah, God. But yeah, are we done here?
I think so.
Yeah, but yeah, overall, Neo-Saban is just crap. That's nothing else. Nothing else needs to be said. And I think we're done here. I'm Ryeguy, and I'll catch you all later.
I'm SonicAdventureDX. Until next time, sayonara.
Yeah.